Here I am filming from inside again. Tuesday the 24th has not been a spectacularly comfortable day. The winds have been 30 knots, 35 knots at times, and the sea has been absolutely immense. Massive seas outside coming over the boat a lot of the time. I've been having the bilge pump on every 10 minutes sometimes. So pretty challenging day really. I had to bear away from the course in order to get a bit of an angle to the waves. So yeah, I need, although I've got my sails reefed in as much as possible, I've got 2 reefs in the main and the Genoa is rolled up pretty tiny. I think I need a 3rd reef in the main because there's still too much sail by far. But not to worry, at least it isn't raining. We've still got plenty of wind, plenty of waves. It's what they call moderate to rough, I think. I have this morning been able to boil a kettle, which is absolutely marvellous. First cup of tea for 36 hours or so. So the wind's gone down a bit, it's under 30 knots now mostly. Still got 2 reefs in the sail and a tiny little bit of Genoa out. We've last night crossed the 1,000-mile mark in this particular journey to the Azores. Of course, from the UK, the Azores is only about 1,200 miles, but I didn't go in a straight line, having had a cunning plan, which I'm not sure if it's been any benefit or not. But still, here we are, 1,000 miles in, and probably 450 or so still to go. And I'm reliably informed that this weather is going to abate later. So at that point I can dry everything out, make some bread, make some nice hot food, and get back to normal. Well, the weather must be getting better because I'm making bread. I haven't had bread for a couple of days, so I'm looking forward to this. If you want to see how I do it, I've got another video which is probably over there or something. I don't know. Oh, going outside still means getting drenched. I just went outside, I put the bread out to rise in the sun, went out and tried to trim the sail a little bit. Boodoosh! Huge wave comes straight over the top, absolutely drenched the skin. Bread's covered in salt water. It's 6:30 in the morning on Thursday the 27th, and another night has gone by. Just before I had my rest last night, I've managed to get the boat sailing perfectly exactly west, which is precisely where I want to go now, because the island of Terceira is pretty much west of me. And then the wind started dropping and the waves started decreasing, which is really nice after those several days of frankly pounding that we've been going through. So it was really good to see that, and after a few hours, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was able to put all the Genoa out, and we picked up a little bit of speed then to about 3 or 4 knots. And now, as I say, 6:30 in the morning, now the wind has backed 40 degrees. So far from going west, I'm now going southwest, which is not the direction that I'm intending at all, not if I want to go to the Azores. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer, see if it backs much further, I shall tack. But for now I'm going to shake one of the reefs out of the mainsail and see if we can get a bit of a wiggle on in this rather much more benign conditions where there's not so much swell, it's not crashing and banging, and the wind is 15-18 knots. Something a bit different for breakfast today. Just for a change. It's fried bread, Marmite, beans, cheese, in that order. Yum, delicious. Well, here we have an afternoon where it's just about all working exactly as it should. This morning it looked as if we were in for a calm. The weather faxes looked as if we were in for a calm, and I was just getting ready to have a shave and get the guitar out and have an easy time, and suddenly the wind pops up from the from the northeast. It's about, I don't know, 20 knots, and here we are scudding along at 6 knots, heading due west, which is just where we want to go. I don't know how long it's going to last, so making the most of it, and yes, just keep it up, eh? Now this is interesting. This is my chart plotter in the nude. And why is it out of its case? Well, because it's not working. I turned it off yesterday to give it a bit of a rest and let the battery charge, and when I plugged it back in, nothing at all. I think a bit of water might have got into it where the power cable goes. So, but I couldn't really see anything much, so I've taken out the solid state drive that runs the thing, and I've plugged that into my computer, and having a look at that on my disk utility here, and there's a boot sector which is fine, but then within there's also a second disc, 2S2, and that is red. That is not good. So I'm looking in the finder on the computer, and there's nothing at all available to see. There's the boot partition, which appears to be okay, has a quantity of files in it, but the other partition is not available at all. I was hoping to be able to get the charts off this and use it on my computer. I thought I brought some charts with me, but I can't find the stick with them on. God, what shambles. Oh, you've got to laugh, haven't you? Dear me. Well, if all else fails, cook breakfast. That's what I say. At least we're on course for Terceira. The sun's shining, there's a little bit of wind, I've got food, I've got 2-year-old Reed's Almanac, which has a very nice chartlet of the Praia de Vitoria harbour and marina. So as long as I can get to the harbour entrance, which I can, so I know exactly what the coordinates are from that little chartlet, then I can get in without any kind of electronic help whatsoever. This phone that I'm recording on obviously I can get my Latin long off that, and also I can get it off the AIS. Well, AIS is still working, although I can't read other ships, but it's showing my position on my radio. So yeah, we're all right. We're cracking on, as they say. So there I was tidying up, and I heard this funny sound, sort of hissing. Then I looked over at the chart table, and there was smoke coming out of this thing, which is a car battery charger adapter. And good lord, look at the state of it. This has obviously been too close to salt water and not suitable for marine use. It doesn't say that on the packet, but that's what it is. So luckily I've saved the situation, and let's hope this day of dramas and electrical panics. Have we had 3 in a row yet? Probably. Let's hope that's the end of it. Crikey. Well, how about this? The GoPro's working. Mr. Happy. Bet you can't guess what was wrong with it. I was trying to charge it with a cable that didn't work, so the battery was flat. That's why the lights didn't come on. It's taken me 10 or 11 days to figure that out. I should really be in a care home, shouldn't I? Never mind, it's working now. Let's hope I keep it together. I don't know if I can make the chart plotter work though. I think that's a bit more terminal. Still, you never know, do you? Live in hope. Now this is, well, I don't know, day what, 12, 13? It's Friday anyway, in the second week, and there's about 160 miles to go till Terceira in the Azores. And yeah, I'm quite happy about that. It'd be nice to get somewhere and relax. Have a quick look round, might as well. It's a lovely sunny late afternoon. As you can see, there's not much apart from sea. And then you get lovely evenings like this, where the sea's fairly calm. The wind's blowing softly, and the boat's just ambling gently along at 2 or 3 knots. We're not going anywhere very fast, but we do plenty of that. There's a couple of birds over there. We're 120 miles from land, and there are 2 birds fishing over there. Can you see them? Of course it would be better if the sails weren't slatting around, wouldn't it? Still, nothing's perfect, eh? It's Saturday the 29th of June, and there's some good news and some not so good news today. The good news is that there's no storms forecast, and the other good news is that we are now about 115 miles from Terceira in the Azores, which is where we're heading for. So that's quite nice. It's almost seems achievable now, you know, but let's not cross any bridges before we come to them. The not so good news is that during the night the wind backed away, and we were making a nice westerly course at 270 degrees most of the day yesterday, which is exactly what we needed. But during the night the wind decided that wasn't going to do at all, and so it's gone round, and now the best we can sail to the wind is about 240. So at this rate I'm going to miss the island by 30 degrees at least. So 2 hopes. One hope is that the wind will veer around again sometime around midday, and then we can continue on the proper course. Second choice, of course, is that if that doesn't happen, I shall have to tack, and it doesn't really matter. It just means we'll waste a little bit of time going across the ways rather than towards the ways. So that's the conundrum this morning. It's warm, it's very, very humid, and it's kind of drizzling. Yeah, lovely. Well, it's a beautiful afternoon. It's Saturday the 29th, I think. And Terceira, which is the island in the Azores that we're headed for, is now less than 80 miles away. So it's beginning to feel as if this trip is almost over, which is, in some ways, it's a sad thing. But in other ways, it'll be nice to have a beer. It's been a mixed trip, as you may have noticed. A bit of everything, really. Fortunately, we haven't had any real storms. Just had some, you know, fairly lively force 7 to perhaps 8. But no, it's really gone well. The green tambourine has stood up perfectly, well, very nearly perfectly to the job, and has done me proud. The only problems have been with electronics and Yeah, fortunately I don't have to rely on those. I've got a paper chart and a protractor, so I think we can find our way into Praia de Victoria. And if the wind and the weather stays like this, it could be tomorrow lunchtime. "6:30 in the morning, Sunday, 2 weeks after leaving, and I can see Terceira in front of me, about 20 miles away. I can see it looming over there. Let's see if you can. I shall celebrate with a cup of tea. It's the English way. Well, you can't go turning up in a new country at immigration looking as if you're the main character from The Shining, can you? Well, here we are. This is Praia de Victoria on Terceira. Green Tambourine and I have arrived. We have checked in and I'm on the pontoon. Gosh, what a tiny boat that is. This is only half of the story. We've still got to get back home.
Yes, away, Santi, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?